That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money.
Nissan of Rivergate in Madison. New Nissan's
custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Nissan of Rivergate in Madison. New Nissans rolling in every day. The all-new Pathfinder, Rogues, Frontiers, Muranos, Rogue Sports, and Sentras. They go fast, so come early. Nissan of Rivergate in Madison, where your dollar always goes farther.
FanDuel. Combine your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your own same-game parlay, check out their popular same-game parlay section where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code TAS to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code TAS so they know that we sent you. 21 up and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we?
Join the afternoon stretch now on the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
4 o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams coming to you live from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. So glad to have you alongside us on this Friday, finally to the weekend edition of the afternoon stretch. Remember, if you want to get involved, we want to talk to you. The Cure hotline is wide open, 615-844-5600. It's Reaction Day, baby. It is Reaction Friday as we had Titans preseason game 1 last night. We had the Field of Dream game where Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. had their first little catch at the start. And then we even had a hologram Harry Carey come out and scare every children in the continental United States with his creepy ghost face that he had singing Take Me Out to the Ballpark. So much to talk about. If you want to jump in, once again, the Cure hotline, 615-844-5600. If you're watching on our video feed, you would see that Ray and I are live in studio, but Bruno Reagan is up in his hidden dungeon in Clarksville, Tennessee. Bruno, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and it really is a hidden dungeon. It's kind of like a little safe house, if you may. I think that could be the terminology. So this is like, you know, when the president has to go operate in like a hidden bunker. That's kind of what we got right here.
Yeah, it's a safe house. It's keep Bruno safe from women is what it is.
Keep me safe from having to talk to girls.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm out. Thanks, guys, for the laughs. I'm done.
Oh, Bruno, how are you doing today? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good. Ray Dosky? You're over the day already. Friday.
Let me touch up. Let me touch up. That was pretty good.
That was a good one. Second he said that, I was like, got it. I got him. I'm ready to blow him away right here. Yeah, that was a solid one. I
enjoy coming day in, day out in the studio producing you guys' shows. I really do. I find so much entertainment. I hope the listeners out there find the same thing. I'm doing well. Good.
We have a half-ish show. A little bit. We have like 58% of a show because it's a little bit more than half. It's not a full half show. It's not a full show. But we got Braves baseball. They're going to take over at 5:25. First pitch is going to be at 5:40 as the Marlins and the Braves set to do action in Miami. That'll happen once again. First pitch, 5:40, taking over. You'll hear it on this station that you're listening to right now. The Braves trying to get into winning ways. But
like I said, there's a lot that happened just last night. I mean, we got the Titans stuff. We're going to talk that, obviously. We got a little bit of today from Coach Vrabel, Mike Vrabel's presser. We're going to talk about some of his comments. What I want to do, and this is the same for all the callers out there. If there's anybody listening that you want to call in, give your thoughts about what happened with the Titans last night, what you saw, what you liked, all that kind of stuff, or, once again, anything else that happened out there, you can jump in the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. But I want to give just first direct thoughts right now about the Titans. I want to go first. Bruno, go. Ray, then you. That's what we'll do about the game last night. First, for me, I got to go ahead and just say real quick, called it, right? Like 100% called it, knew what was going to happen, and it happened. Except for the fact that I lost $5 on FanDuel to the Titans not winning. That I did not call. But I just knew that we were going to see Malik Willis, especially when we found out he was starting. He was going to come in and play and do something that was going to just absolutely blow everybody's hair back and get them wildly excited for Malik Willis' season. And sure enough, you go to Twitter right after it happens. Malik Willis takes off to the right, fakes, comes back, and then goes up against the first-round draft pick. And if there was anything more that was symbolic of what Malik Willis went through on the draft night, was the fact that everyone thought he was going to go number 9 pick, that he is going up against a guy who was taken in the first round, blows by him, gets the end zone, gets the touchdown, takes it with his legs, and Twitter goes crazy. Now, was I a part of that? Absolutely. Did I tweet out Malik Willis hype train starts now? Absolutely. That was feeding into the people. Man of the people, as always, for my side. And I understand why everybody's excited about it, because it's the new shiny toy that goes out and makes something happen. And so it's easy for you to get behind it and say Malik Willis is the guy. Did you see that throw to McMath? Did you see what he did? Did you see what he did? It's easy to get sucked into that and say, this is where I believe. And I understand it. Malik Willis better not start one game this entire season. With all that being said, he better not start one game this entire season for the Tennessee Titans in the regular season. Happy he did it for the preseason. I'd love to see him do it again for the preseason. For every game, let him out there. Do it all in the preseason. But do not let this guy come out and start for the Tennessee Titans. He looked good. He should. And I think there were some miscues, obviously. There's going to be things that happen. Everybody's like, he got pulled at halftime. Well, it's preseason. That's quite simply what happens on preseason. You get pulled for another player to come in so they can see what Woodside can do, or they can see whatever that's going to do. That happens a lot in preseason. So the hype train on, Malik Willis season, it starts now, to, he got pulled, all that kind of stuff. You got to throw it out. It's preseason, week 1, and Malik looked good. I think he looked good, but he is not. He is still very wet behind the ears, very green, not the guy that you want to be starting. It's still Ryan Tannehill's team, and the only way you have Ryan Tannehill show up is if you got to pull the oh crap button right there. You got to pull that oh crap shoot, and injury, and then now it's it could be Logan Woodside, but then it's Malik Willis. I still think what we saw for sure is that Malik Willis is definitely the number 2 on this team, but he better not play like the number 2. And when I say that, I mean he is the number 2 option, but he needs to be the number 3 because you have a future with this kid. Do not, Logan Woodside, sacrifice him at the pit, all right? Sacrifice him to the Rams or whatever team if it comes up that the Titans have to play and Ryan Tannehill's injured. Just sacrifice him so that way you had Malik Willis ready to go for the next few seasons as you're looking for a future of a new quarterback, because there is definite signs that he could be a starting quarterback, but it better not be this season.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
So Malik Willis kind of stole the show, and I believe a little bit undeservingly, but also there was absolutely nothing else the Titans really had from any player, really. Preseason games are your chance to stand out, and it really didn't happen for anybody else other than Malik. And part of that was Malik's fault, too, because he wouldn't, this is a guy that completed 6 passes. It wasn't like he was slinging the ball around to his boys. There's something ironic about everyone going QB1, Malik Willis, here we go. on a play that's designed to just be a run out quick pass to a flat, and he bails on the play, gets extremely lucky that the DN didn't contain correctly. The DN's just trying to be super athletic. I'm going to assume it's a young guy too. He's trying to be super athletic, and you just can't do that in the NFL. You can't tackle people the same way you used to in college. So he takes a bad angle. Malik Willis gets the edge, gets the touchdown. Where realistically, in a real NFL game, that could also have been a 15-yard sack and a really hard field goal now and a really bad decision. There's just I'm not trying to be a Malik Willis hater. I'm just trying to pump the brakes. And I get Vrabel's comments where you don't think Vrabel was probably pleased with what he saw. The kid's got fight. The kid's got heart. The kid can use his legs. The problem is, Zach, is we know these things. No one disputes these things. Now, he did have that great pass where it was a 7-man protection. Tight ends guy is running up the field, and he runs him up the field, and Malik takes a step, and on that same step, he throws with power down the field. That's what we want to see. We just want to see a little more than that. I don't know if you've seen these in-depth clips. A lot of people that are the Malik Willis, hold the not the naysayers, but the realists. They're like, look at all these reads he's missed. Like, he's staring down his first read, Des Fitzpatrick, who's wide open around the middle, and he just won't pull the trigger on him. Mm-hmm. So he's got to get comfortable to do that. But I think he did enough to prove he's better than Logan Woodside. I'm having a severe internal conversation with myself the entire night and day. I'm like, how do we do this? Because I like the idea of, if things go bad for the Titans, you just throw in Logan Woodside. If things are going bad, don't throw in Malik Willis and ruin his confidence and ruin the way he plays. I get it. He could be a guy. He really could be the quarterback of the future for this team if you build him right. So I don't want to throw him into bad situations. But if he gives you the best chance to win, which, it looks like he has a lot of promise, and Logan Woodside didn't show anything great at all. You have to play the guy. If the players are on the field and they're like, the quarterback that gives us the best chance to win isn't on the field. Ryan Tannehill gets hurt, they put Logan Woodside in. And the players are like, what are we doing? Get Malik Willis in there. We know he's better. The players will know who's a better player. That could sow some hard feelings. So I think the number 2 QB spot is now up for grabs, whereas before tonight, I thought it was, Logan Woodside's going to be the 2. No, Malik Willis could go out there, complete 20 of 30, and I would still think Logan Woodside would be the 2. Now, I think there's a discussion that, it might be time for Malik Willis to take the next steps. That's still early. I mean, this is a guy who completed 6 of 11 passes, no touchdowns throwing the ball. It's not like he was Steve McNair, the reincarnation out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it was better than bad. You could have had a bad performance or not bad performance, and he had a not bad one. So that's promising.
Ray?
Well, you guys have touched on Malik Willis, yes. But it's fair to say that due to his performance last night, Tennessee Titan fans should be excited about the growth we're going to see with Malik Willis himself, right? I mean, we showed a lot of player plays, made a couple outstanding throws, but then we'll follow up with a guy. I think there was a guy coming around the seam, and he completely overthrew him. I think it was on a 3rd down play. It was like a 3rd and, 14. He took a sack prior to that. Mm-hmm. Had him there, overthrew him. So you know that Malik Willis, he needs some more time to progress. Now, Bruno just said no one really stood out. Yes, someone did stand out. His name was Logan Woodside. Yeah. But for all the wrong reasons, right? 3 interceptions. I don't care if it's the backups, the 3rd stringers, whatever.
True, but yes.
So yeah, he was going against them as well and threw several interceptions.
Hey, Woodside sucks. That is just unequivocally. I think I said this last year when I was like, what if Ryan Tannehill goes down? Everybody's like, Woodside's a man. What are you drinking? Woodside is
What dirt does he have on Mike Vrabel? He has something. He has naughty pictures. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to have something on Vrabel. Like he caught Vrabel in a parking lot somewhere.
He definitely did. But in terms of looking at the team, there's still a lot of question marks for the offensive line. They still need some time. What did they give it? 4 or 5 sacks last night. Mm-hmm. They didn't really control the line of scrimmage. Now, in terms of the running back spot between Chestnut and Haskins, a lot of promise there.
Yeah.
That you feel comfortable that if Derrick Henry needs a little more time, needs a breather, what have you, we've got a nice little 1-2 punch waiting right behind him between Chestnut.
And Hilliard didn't even play either. That's the other thing.
Yeah, so, Haskins looks really good. Chestnut, I think he had the first 12 yards in the first quarter, and then after he had 4 carries for 40-something yards.
Yeah. Great
showing by that young guy. I'm telling you right now, I'm excited about that running back room right now. I like what they see.
Doesn't Julius Chestnut just sound like you franchised Madden 20 years in the future, and then you're like, that's the name. You get The MVP that year is Julius Chestnut.
That's a good point. Yes, it sounds like an auto-generated name.
Yeah, it does not feel like a real person. That's even more simulation just showing up in real life.
But you would have to come out of seeing game. I know it's only one game, and this is Overreaction Friday. Normally it's Overreaction Monday, but today's Overreaction Friday. You have to think that the Titans brass were probably thinking like, oh, maybe our quarterback situation is not that great because if Tannehill goes out, we have a big decision to make.
Yeah.
We want to throw Malik out there. Bruno just spoke about it. Don't want to shoot his confidence. Put Woodside in there. But do we have a lot of faith in Woodside? No, we don't. Not after last night's performance.
Zero. And that's the scary thing. Now, look, if you told me Patrick Mahomes went down, I would say, well, the Chiefs have some problems. If you told me Josh Allen went down, I would say, well, the Buffalo Bills have some problems. If you said Derek Carr went down, well, I would say the Raiders had some problems. There's not a lot of starters out there that you can say if they go down, the team isn't going to have problems. And I think you're right. If that does happen, there's going to be problems for the Tennessee Titans. I just think that the real problem isn't so much it's going back to more what Bruno said. It isn't so much that, Logan Woodside could come out and he'd just be Logan Woodside and be terrible. Well, that's not going to fit for the Titans. They're wanting to win, and like Bruno always says too, it's a lot of these coaches are fighting for their lives. Now, Vrabel can probably suffer a bad year due to injuries and he's not going to get fired, but there's still other guys on that coaching that are like, look, we got to do whatever we can to keep our jobs this year, and maybe it could be Malik Willis. That's the real downside. If Tannehill goes down, you may throw Malik Willis out there to win. It's way too early. It's way too early for Malik Willis, and his career could be at a deficit because of coming in so early. So that's where I look at it and say the Tannehill thing. Look, if Tannehill stays up, good. If the starting quarterback is healthy, good. That's what you want. But no matter what, there's going to be problems for the Tennessee Titans if Ryan Tannehill goes down. Logan, I really don't understand why Logan Woodside's on the team. Yeah, I don't know what the benefit is for the Titans. He's never played. I mean, virtually never played. When they pulled up his stats, this guy, how long has Woodside been in the league? Like 5 years, 4 years, something like that now? They pulled up his stats, and they had like last year he rushed the ball 7 times, and then then it went to his AAF stats. He had 1,000 yards, and then what he did in Toledo. It's just like I don't know. I really don't know why this guy's on the team, and I'm not trying to we're not it's not like what, it's Friday, let's go after Logan Woodside. That's not what I'm.
That's just what stood out to us.
It's not Logan Woodside hate day.
It just stood out to every other fan. Another thing that really stood out, now it probably didn't stand out to a lot of fans, but probably stood out to me, was Treylon Burks. He was playing all well into the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Which you're going to expect. I think you're going to see a lot of Treylon. There's going to be a lot of Treylon played. And then some people weren't happy with how his play was. They're getting him involved in the offense very slowly. That's just, I think, the plan. Get him involved very slowly. And like I said, too, the wide receiver position seems much deeper to me still than anything else. Or let me say just the receiver position as a whole. I'm including Chig and Hooper and all that. I think the receiver position for the Titans much more deeper than we all give it credit for this season. Racey McMath looks like a guy that could really make a difference. When we saw him come out and he got that 48-yard catch, and there was another chance that he had another one that got missed. The Titans looked okay to good on a team that they primarily, all these guys first time coming out, have no idea what's going to happen. I think it looked good. They lost, and whatever. It's preseason. Who cares? The Ravens haven't lost a preseason in 21 straight games or whatever it is.
Well, you did mention the other day that you do like what you see from their secondary. And looking into that third, fourth quarter, those second, third stringers did not look good. What was that number? I forget the guy's name, but he was that big, tall wide receiver, kind of played on the outside. Mm-hmm. He went after Chris Harris a few times. I think Chris Harris got banged up a little bit last night. I think he had his knee rolled down after the Ravens had scored that player scored the touchdown. There's a lot of question marks there about the depth there as well, because we all know that it's usually the next man up, especially in the secondary. And our starters seem to be solidified, but outside of that, what you got?
Yeah, no, look, there's going to be downcomings for this team because of the situation they're in. And once again, this isn't a situation of finding your starters, right? Like they know who the starters are on this team for the most part. There might be
right tackle, yeah,
like three spots at most. Is their entire team, Bruno, is what I would say. Maybe, and I'm including special teams on this, where there might be 3 spots that are like, look, we are circling around the wagons here. But right now, it's all about depth. So results of preseason, who cares? I understand people are going to say, like, you should win the game, any game you play, but
Nope.
No.
You shouldn't. Malik Willis should focus on staying in the pocket and making these throws down the middle. And if he makes a mistake, whatever, he shouldn't roll out of the play outside. Like, that's, and you think I'm being harsh, that's what they're telling him. They're like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, he didn't even give the play a shot, you know? And we all know you're an instinctive player. That's great. And when it comes down to it, if you can do that in game time, that's great. But we need to see what you can do in the system, you know? That's what the preseason's about. No one cares about winning. Compete hard, try to do your job to the best of your ability, but it's glorified practice. So practice.
Yep. No, I agree. I 100% agree with you, Bruno. We got to run to our first break. If you want to jump in, the Pure Hotline wide open, 615-844-5600. We had to get these initial thoughts out. We come back, we're going to have some from Vrabel's presser, talk about that. Once again, anything else you want to talk about on the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600.
Afternoon, quite busy to the north now on 65 up into Robertson County. 40 east is picked up out through Mount Juliet, right on schedule through that section of Wilson County. A couple of wrecks around town the last few minutes. Murfreesboro Pike at Markway Drive, that's in Antioch. They're still on the scene of that wreck involving some injuries. Some radar earlier, 24 out through certain sections of Rutherford County. Hey, Gatlinburg Winery, it's home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. They've got some brand-new flavors. Check them all out at GatlinburgWinery.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, one of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus, where you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your same game parlay, check out their popular Same Game Parlay section where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code GregP to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use promo code GregP.
Use the promo code GregP.
See, and from the Peanuts section, John Burton.
Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Dry rub wings are back at Slim Chickens. Fresh, fried, and full of flavor. Like smooth and kickin' cayenne ranch, zesty lemon pepper, or turn it up with new spicy Nashville hot. Try them today with a meal or feed your hungry crowd. But hurry, they're only back for a limited time. At Slim's, bold flavor is what we do. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
State forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscan forecast. This afternoon is going to be mostly sunny, high 86. Mainly clear tonight, low 62. Saturday, sunny, high 88. Sunny Sunday, high 92. Partly sunny, a straight thunderstorm Monday. Utilizing the resources of the Mother Bug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
Follow the afternoon stretch on Twitter at Bruno Reagan and Zachariah W. Really, man? You want that? I'm not spelling that out.
Welcome back. The afternoon stretch. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, the Cure Hotline wide open, 615-844-5600. I got to apologize to Jeff in the Borough. He was on hold, and then he hung up before we ever even could get to him. So if you want to call back, Jeff, feel free. But we got to get those initial thoughts out, and then, it's just eventually we'll get to you, but we just weren't able to. And then I guess he didn't want to. He got tired of waiting around for Bruno to bring him on.
Well, listen, Jeff, if you're going to get on, now you have to talk Titans. Give us your preseason roundup if you call back, all right? Only allowed to talk Titans.
That's the only piece that you can do is just talking Titans. And I swear if you mention one thing, University of Kentucky, you are out of here. You hear me? Oh, man. So, anyway, Titans lost last night. I mean, it sucks to see a Titans loss, right? You don't like it, but preseason, who cares? Right?
Yeah, I don't care. I was more concerned about, performances. And it just seemed like, though, there wasn't enough out of a lot of people, you know. I mean, I wanted to see the next coming of Jordy Nelson, the next coming of Wes Welker, the next coming of Cooper Kupp, the next coming of Julian Edelman, the next coming of I'm running out of short white receivers, but I was hoping to see Kyle Phillips get some love in there. He only got one target, and he actually almost gave up like a pick six because he slipped on a route. So I was like, okay. Treylon Burks had a ton of reps, I think around 20 different ones at receiver, but got targeted once and just didn't happen. I saw in some clips he broke away, some clips he struggled to separate. It's just some rookie stuff. I was just hoping, I guess, I could see more. But Petit Ferrer, he actually did pretty good at right tackle. I'll give that guy props. So he'll probably be the right tackle going into the season.
Yeah, whenever they drafted him, I said that's going to be your right tackle. That's guaranteed. Yeah. What did you see out of that left guard spot when you looked at it?
It wasn't the hard part about interior O-line. This is exactly what because I was like, okay, I'm going to have a surefire say on what I saw here, but all three of the interior was frankly very bad. And it's tough to determine because when one guy's playing bad, both of the guys look bad. Like, for example, on these inside zones, you can tell that their timing's just not right because it was a group that hadn't played together longer. But one's coming off the double team too early, and then the D-line gets pressure, and then the linebacker sheds the guy anyways because he comes off too early and there's too much space. When a short, skinny linebacker has space on O-lineman, he's just going to give a little hand fake and make the tackle. So the run game was basically abysmal. It was so bad you really don't have a good grasp of it. One thing I will say, though, is Aaron Brewer did get some reps at center, and if he does ever play, for real on this team as a starter, that's probably the position. He can maybe, cover for a Ben Jones when Ben Jones is done for a year or two when they find the center of the future. You can get away with being stocky and quick at center, but left guard still a little bit out in the open. But it was good that one game into the preseason, I think we found our right tackle. So that's literally one check mark down. We have 3 games to figure out the next one.
Yeah, because he looks prototypical.
Yeah, and he played it. He played it. That's the great part about tackle is like, if you want to be a 99 on Madden and you want to beat Trent Williams, sure. Like, you got to go above and beyond and be a freak of nature. But for the most part, O-line, you just got to do your job. And that's exactly what he did. He wasn't sexy or, killing people off the ball like people think O-linemen are supposed to. No, he did his job every single step. I think he gave up like one pressure the entire time. So props, that's a great outing.
You got to remember, Bruno, there's only 3 total preseason games.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they took one away.
You just, that USFL, they still have 4 scrimmages before y'all end up playing the season. So that's what it is.
No, we have 2.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I tried to cover for you, but it didn't work out, I guess.
Dude, I don't need to be covered for.
As you sit in your bed
God,
right
bring
now.
Bring it on.
You're sitting in your bed right now with the covers over you talking on Nashville Sports Airwaves.
What did you call it?
Yes.
It was a dungeon is what I said, but he said it was a safe house.
It's an operational bunker. It's where, it's like it's the network center.
It's a no girlfriend bunker.
Yeah, that's safe from women house up there. That's what that place is. I saw what it looked like, and there's a lot of dishes all over the place.
You guys got to relax. It's literally one vacuuming away from like looking good.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's like that scene from Space Jam where they do a spit shine, and then it just turns the whole gym like squeaky clean. That's all you need. Just one good spit shine. Actually, if you're a single dude, you would love to live where Bruno lives.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm really. It is a bachelor pad, that's for sure. But it's a cool looking. Like, I mean, he's got a dojo there too, so that's another thing.
Go downstairs. Yeah. Your personal gym.
Yeah, you could quite literally go down and get choked right in that
Walk
gym.
down there.
And then you'll feel great, just like Bruno does every single day.
It's a lot of space here too. Like,
it's big. It's big.
A ton of space, and I pay less than 3 times what people in Nashville pay for a closet. So it's not bad.
Let's go to earlier comments today. Listen to a little bit what Mike Vrabel had to say to the media over there at St. Thomas Sports Park.
Right.
Looking at the film, did Malik maybe have some more opportunities to throw than you thought during the game? And with him, how much of it is just the learning curve of timing and being decisive and just trusting what he sees?
Yeah, these are great opportunities. These are great opportunities. We said that before we went down to Baltimore. We knew they were going to give us, multiple looks and pressures. And there was, I think it was about as many as we, saw on the sideline, and just, there's a fine line between, standing in there and climbing the pocket and, using some of those drills that they're working every single day and being able to progress through. And then there's times where we're going to want them to go and be an athlete. And so there's some things we have to work on with our, certainly the timing and what he's seeing when those throws depend on it. And then there's other times that, I thought he really made some nice plays down the field and kept his eyes down the field.
Is it a matter of actually seeing it or seeing it and believing it, or what is kind of the hiccup that you're seeing?
Well, I think it's just the execution and where his eyes are and his progression. Being able to get off of a route when it doesn't look good and being able to progress through. And again, this is all happening pretty quick and much quicker with more consequences in the game than what it's been in practice. It's live, and they're coming to get the quarterback when we drop back to throw it, and obviously we have to help them out in progression and in protection. But there were some times where things looked really good, and there were some times where we can go out and practice and clean things up.
The organization, the huddle timing, some of the other stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have we didn't have any issues. I think I thought he did well there. I thought he was coachable. I thought he came over and understood what we were trying to get done. The feedback that I've gotten from the coaches, from Todd and Pat, were positive. Thanks, guys.
So with Willis, as far as like the athletic side of him, is it tough to, because I know you want that playmaker, make it 11 on 11 football, but is it tough to kind of balance that with wanting him to make plays from the pocket and play the quarterback?
Tough in what standpoint? I don't know what tough. Tough on me or tough on who?
For you as a coach.
No, not tough. We've talked. We went in there and talked, and anybody that shows up here tomorrow with a great attitude and showed a willingness to play with great effort and continue to improve. It's coaching. It's not tough. It's just showing them and saying, hey, this is there, and if it's not, then progress through, or whatever it is for each position. And the guys that may not have a great attitude or don't want to be coached, or we don't have many guys like that, and so we'll coach them and fix it and keep working on it. We're coming up with drills to get them to climb the pocket when guys are rushing in the edge, and trusting the middle of the pocket and being able to slide. We were just talking about the one where the Brew gave up a little penetration and being able to slide and then climb the pocket and find Mason. And so I don't know if he's had a play like that in practice, but it's something that they rep and that they do each day, an individual, to being able to slide, take care of the football, move up in the pocket, and get the ball out. Just like on the first play. We got Racy. We have to hit Racy. Racy does a fantastic job of getting through the traffic. But then he comes back and he made some plays, and that's what happens.
You talked Logan was maybe anticipating Godwin staying on an inside.
Well, Terry, we have to get some help from the receiver. We can't release in there. We have to probably not go there and not try to press and throw the ball there. And then Terry, receivers who were coaching them to go and do whatever they have to do, especially down there in the end zone to break up that pass. So I think there's a lot of people, that have to be better on that particular play. It starts with the decision. If you go over there and you don't like it, then just try to check the ball down. But, receiver, we don't want him to release inside, and then we'll just make a great decision and try to compete and do everything we can to not get that ball intercepted.
You mentioned the pressure with Logan. He mentioned the pressure. I mean, if he's coming into a game for you, he's going to see pressure and have to sort through it and do better than that, no?
Yeah, I mean, we all deal with, the mental side of it, the mental side of whatever our individual situation is. And, competing, everybody's competing for a job. And, we all have to process that, and we have to work through that. And one of the strengths that Logan has had has been his command of the offense, his decisions. And I would anticipate that that's going to, improve from what it was last night.
Do you consider backup quarterback something that's still an open competition, depending on how Logan and Malik might perform?
Mm-hmm.
How big of a challenge was it, I guess, from a numbers standpoint, personnel standpoint, to get your combination on the offensive line, moving guys to different spots, and how you think that group did as a whole?
Well, I mean, we got off to a slow start offensively. A couple 3-and-outs, and with the fumble, and you look at the fumble, much like an interception. I think that Tommy could have helped protect the guy with the ball. I think Nick Petit could have helped protect the guy with the ball, and that, yes, ultimately the guy that has the ball is responsible for taking care of it. But we have to make sure that everybody's seeing this as a group effort, as a team effort. And they all did some good things, and Brew was able to. I thought his leadership with Ben not there or out there. I thought his leadership was something that was probably the best thing he did last night. And Jamarco was in there for a little bit. Dylan was in there, and Nick did some good things. And
you know how defeating it must be to be in this business, the journalist business, the radio business, whatever you are, trying to collect news, and you go to ask a guy like Mike Vrabel, head coach, a question, and his answer is,
I think. Listen, as
look, as someone who asked a stupid question, or not a stupid question, but messed up a pretty easy question and got railed for it. I mean, I love that. I didn't at least get that response. I didn't get.
I don't know. As someone who I literally went to school and everything I studied was just reading beneath the lines, right? And I think what has Vrabel's discourse been? He's like, no, Malik's going to be the 3, and then Logan Woodside's going to be the 2. We're going to work Malik up slowly and surely. I think this is kind of Vrabel surrendering to the fact that, first of all, Logan Woodside does have something on Vrabel. Like he comes out and he's like, yeah, it's just things that normally people would get railed for. I mean, it's just there's something, I don't know what it is, but they must be boys. Or their dads played together or something. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. But Malik, I think he just knows he can't hide that Malik Willis is, a better talent by far, and it's going to show all the time, and his decision making is going to come into question. So he kind of had to surrender his early position of Malik is the 3, and we're going to hold him back. It's Logan Woodside. Everything is earned, and Logan Woodside hasn't earned anything. And Malik Willis, first game out there, is starting to earn stuff. So it's just how it is.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
No, I think I completely agree. He does have to earn everything he has, and I don't know. Like I'm just so stuck about the fact that Logan. I was expecting a better performance. Because
you would expect something good.
Yeah.
This guy's been around long enough, and in this system especially, and there's nothing there that's worth keeping Logan Woodside on the team. I might be wrong, and they may not keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster, even though that's been the rhetoric this whole time.
Jimmy G to National? Just saying.
Who knows, man? Who knows what they're going to do, because Logan Woodside is not any kind of future, and he's not any kind of Band-Aid either. You know, he's nothing to this team. He's taking up a roster spot. And
I'm yeah. If he doesn't improve, then fast.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's not good, man. We need to run to our next break. If you want to jump in the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Before we go to that break, we got to talk about our friends over at Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison. It's 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison. Go check them out online. All right, NissanofRivergate.com. That is where you go, and you can check out their entire inventory of vehicles right there on the website. And the best part, they're open 365 days a year right there on the website. Always there, monitored for your questions. If you have anything about a car, whatever it is, somebody's there to take care of you right there on NissanofRivergate.com. But it's more than just a buying and selling process. They have everything with their parts and service department, as well as their award-winning Blue Ribbon paint and body shop. So much going on there for Hayes Nissan of Rivergate. You got to go check them out. Once again, 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison. That's 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, or on the web at NissanofRivergate.com. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Good afternoon. Heavy traffic over here on 65 northbound, trying to get past Wedgwood up to the South Loop. It's been slow for a while on 440 East, making your way past Nolensville Pike. Heavy to the north, but moving on 65. It'll slow on you there around Vietnam Vets, but as you continue up into Goodlettsville, Millersville, just definitely watch your speed. Hey, Ripley's is hiring for all 10 attractions, offering great pay and perks. Apply online at Ripley's.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Hey Nashville, Ray here from Run With It. Let me tell you about our sponsor, Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House. And with 4 locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville, they're your home for the best gourmet pizza and craft beers in Music City. Join me on Monday nights at the East Nashville location for poker night. And if you think you know everything, try Wednesday night trivia at both locations. Gourmet pizzas, craft beers, online at BoomBozz.com. Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House.
It's a Bill King Show.
I told you this in 2010. This is about football. The other sports don't matter. I know that's offensive to some. I don't mean it to be. It's true. Whatever football decides, you have to follow. Period. You have no vote. You're not getting a seat at the table. Gonna do what you're told. Here's where we're going. Here's how we're gonna do it.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
A show called The Afternoon Stretch is a stretch. Calling it a show. The Afternoon Stretch.
Welcome back. The Afternoon Stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Sammy Kincaid is also inside the studio right now, and she's got her little one with her. What was her name again? Lila. That's right, Lila.
Dang, I missed it.
Bruno's missing a little baby.
Kids.
Bruno loves little babies. There's a little baby sitting in the studio right now, and it's not Ray Dosky.
That was good. I have no comeback.
Why do
you do this?
We're all a family here. That's all it is. Just a little family ribbing.
No, we're not a family.
Yeah.
Businesses that say they're family, it's a lie.
Bruno's so right.
Bruno is the distant uncle that you got really into the He got really into World War II, and we just never heard from him again. That's Bruno's relationship. Coming live once again, Strike and Spare Family Fun Center Studio. If you want to jump in, Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Looking at some of the comments from directly last night after the game, I don't think we have any of the audio for it, but Vrabel said something that was really interesting. Vrabel came out and talking about why they pulled Malik Willis on at halftime. Is his initial thoughts, or at least his initial comment was, we wanted Malik Willis to throw the ball, and he didn't. So we put in Logan.
Well, I think it's a little out of context. He meant he was just saying it in the order of events, like, because I heard him explain this a little bit more in depth. Malik Willis, he told Malik, this is going to be your last drive, so air it out more. And then he didn't, and then Logan went in. It's not like he got pulled per se. That was just the last drive, and they both knew it was the last drive going into it. So I just wanted to clear that air right there. I do know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that Malik was going to play the whole game.
No.
And I heard some people in this sphere of ours questioning that, thinking they thought Malik was going to play the whole game. That's not going to happen. There was no way Malik Willis was going to come out and play a whole game. They just weren't going to throw Logan Woodside at all. Now, what we may see this next game against the Bucks, which will be home, you might see Logan Woodside come out and start.
You don't think all three quarterbacks will come out? You don't think Ryan Tannehill will come out for like a series or two?
He could do a series today, but they'll probably just save him a series or two for the last game, just so that offense can get reps and then call it.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It's like if you're not going to play Henry, you might as well not play Tannehill. They're both just as necessary to this offense success.
Oh, is Tannehill going to give us anything to talk about on National Sports Radio airwaves? Put Malik in.
I mean, hey, he could do terrible.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got a point there. Yeah.
Well, think about that. We've been talking about his last performance for the last 8 months or whatever.
I know. What a terrible way to end it. Especially because, guys, in the regular season, he's not bad, man. He's Ryan Tannehill. There's a reason he has that contract. At one time, he was considered to have earned it. You know, we probably advocated for it. We just don't even remember.
True.
God, what a crazy. I know. What a crazy thing 2 years can do for you.
There's a lot that can be done for the Tennessee Titans still, though. That's a lot of the question right now. What are we going to see out of the starters? We're not going to get these answers until September 11th, when the week 1 against the Giants here at Nissan Stadium actually happens. And that's just, I think the preseason hype is just that. It's just preseason hype. All the media people here locally are talking about it. I imagine there's people that are probably sick of it already being talked about as much as it's going to be talked about. Analyzing every little sound and grunt that Mike Vrabel makes right now, with the yeah. I mean, it's just there's a lot to it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just it's overblown for being preseason game 1, but it does feel like there was a lot that the Titans had on the line, even with preseason game 1. Just because so many spots. Sure, we may know their starting lineup pretty much all the way through, but the key pieces like the right tackle, left guard, that's open. We don't know what's going on with that. And if you don't get that right, then you have a problem with your running game. If you have a problem with your running game, then you're going to have a problem with your entire season if you're the Tennessee Titans. So there's a lot of places to take it and a lot of places to worry about it. I don't know. I do understand the rhetoric, what Mike Vrabel's saying. Malik didn't throw the ball, and we wanted to throw the ball. I think that's a little bit of what you were saying yesterday, Bruno, where you don't look. We know he's going to have athleticism on the ground to be able to make plays. We want to see you throw the ball. 6 completions on 11 attempts. It's not enough. It's just not enough. And even in an offense like the Tennessee Titans, with their running game as strong as it is, you still need to throw the ball more than 11 times.
Absolutely, you need to. It's practice too. This is the toughest thing for a young player. I don't even know if they probably don't even think of it directly, but it circles through their thought process. They should go into this thinking the result doesn't matter. Even as long as it depends what relationship you have with your coach. Malik Willis goes out there and just sits in the pocket. He doesn't do the rollout. He doesn't do any of that. Let's say he throws a pick, maybe gets 3 or 4 more completions, but he gets stuff on film and he can talk. That's, in my head, that would be what they really would want more than him trying to go out there and run around and win this preseason game. He showed his athleticism. You remember that he did a jumping Patrick Mahomes sidearm on the left hash. It was insane athleticism, but I know you can do that, man. We're just going right back around to this circle. But if he went out there and had that bad game, we would all be talking about it. We would all be talking trash about him, frankly. We would all be criticizing his performance. So it's that young athlete thing where you're trying to take these preseason games and trying to get your work in, but trying to perform well enough to avoid criticism and earn your spot, too. Because Malik Willis, I'm sure he doesn't want to be the 3. He wants to be the 2. So he's going to try and win. But that's not what he needs. He just needs to take this all as practice and not listen to the outside noise, even if it's going to eventually come from me. As someone who's defending him and telling him what to do, I'd be the first one to start criticizing him if he was making bad throws. But that's what practice is. It's doing the things you're not good at, so eventually you can not be good at them. Double negative, but you know what I'm saying.
Should the Titans be scared that they scored 1 less point than the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game?
No. No. If they lose to the New York Giants and they score 6 points, we should all panic.
And the Titans are not making the playoffs.
Oh, so, yeah. I mean, that's gonna for sure be the truth if that happens. I mean, that's just a nightmare in itself. But I mean, thankfully Jacksonville gave up 27 points, and the Tennessee Titans only gave up 23. So
it's about what I predicted for the game. I said 24-14, and it was close. I was close.
I can't tell you how many people. They hit me up, and I was like, man, I really hope Titans win. Just put a little money on there. Like, did you really bet on the preseason?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
Why not?
I did. At least I didn't bet on the Hall of Fame game. That's crazy.
Bruno did.
Yeah. What about it?
Bruno did.
Bruno did.
He started all this.
Yes.
Yeah, what about it? I don't care. Yeah, I'm crazy.
Is there a fight card tonight? Or not tonight, but tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Yeah. I think it's I don't even know who's fighting. It wasn't anything super special. It was like a fight night type deal. I'll get you that real quick.
That's how bad of a fight card it is.
Yeah, no.
If Bruno doesn't care, it's like
I was gonna say maybe we make a little Bruno's bets on it in the next hour. As we're winding down the first hour and we're done.
This is why. I mean, it's Dominic Cruz, who is widely considered to be bantamweight GOAT legend. Until he lost to Cody Garbrandt, he only had 1 loss on his record. He's a legend in the sport, but he's starting to work his way back up. It's a weird thing. Then they have the Clarksville Nate Landwehr. He's the co-main event, and if a guy from Clarksville's the co-main event, that says it all. So
yeah. Have y'all been following this story too that happened? Black NFL retirees, more of them getting approved for dementia claims in all these tests that have been going on, because it was a few years ago that we had the $1 billion concussion settlement through black retirees for the NFL, and more of that is coming out, which I think you're going to see a ton of this in the future for the NFL. They worry about Deshaun Watson and what he's doing now in the present, and Henry Ruggs and all these other crazy things that are happening now. There's going to be so much that's going to come out in lawsuits that the NFL is going to have to pay over concussion and how they handle concussions. I mean, up until 2015 almost is when they started doing something about that. And we're going to have here in the future, we're going to have the chief medical officer for the NFL on the show, Dr. Alan Sills, to talk about this, because it's something that is growing every day. I mean, you look at how now the NFL, they have with their the halo caps or whatever, all that they're doing now, and you see it was widely talked about on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the mushroom caps.
Yeah, the little mushroom caps. Yeah, the little helmet that they had on there.
They hate it.
Yeah,
this is so weird.
They say it's a little heavy. It makes it a little bit heavier. But
sure.
But the NFL is going to get so many of these different things because of how not only how black players were treated, but also just how players were treated at all. I mean, when you look at Junior Seau,
in general,
shot himself in the chest just to protect his brain so everybody could look at it and make sure and see what was happening because he knew something was wrong. You know, guys like Mike Ditka who said he would never let his son play football now if he had a child today. Different stuff like that. The NFL has so many more problems than the Deshaun Watson case that are much more deeply rooted in the history of the game that we're going to see more of these cases and more of these settlements come out.
And we see Deshaun Watson tonight.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Deshaun Watson looking like he's going to play.
Concussion science is an extremely recent thing. And it's something we still don't understand necessarily well. But back in the day, I mean, and when I say back in the day, this is probably like 2013 and before. Like, if you thought you had if your coach thought you had a concussion and you looked wrong and you were like, I don't feel good, I don't know if I can play, you know what he would call you? I mean, I can't say it on radio.
A wussy.
Yeah, coward. Yeah, you're a wuss. You know, use your imagination.
Exactly.
Like, you're giving up on your teammates.
I don't want to have to cut you off, Bruno, but we got to run to a break right now. But you're on a roll here. Just keep that in your back pocket. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. Quite heavy now on the South Loop, the West Loop starting to slow down. 24 east passing 440. It's also very heavy out through Antioch on 24. All that traffic eastbound continuing out towards Murfreesboro. Watch your speed. I-40 out through parts of Dixon County this afternoon. Got pretty saturated with some radar out there around 8:40, maybe an hour ago. Hey, Gatlinburg Winery, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check out those new flavors. GatlinburgWinery.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Friday is here, so let's get you all set up for Richmond Raceway this weekend. Place holds 98,000 screaming NASCAR fans on a 3/4 mile oval, banking up to 14 degrees. The front stretch is 1,290 feet, backstretch 860. Stages weigh in like this: 70 laps for stage 1, 230 laps for stage 2, and the balance of the race, which is 400 laps or 300 miles. Earlier this year, Denny Hamlin took home the checkered flag, and last year's winner of this race was Martin Truex Jr. Check out all the short track action from Richmond Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on USA. Looking ahead to Richmond, here's Harrison Burton on being on the edge in the next-gen car.
Just learning these cars in general has been a real big challenge. They're a lot different to drive than the old generation car, and they're different to set up, and the priorities are different, philosophies are different. For me as a driver, I've learned a lot. I feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and I think that's the key to being a great race car driver. So, at the end of the day, just trying to find a way to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and getting better and better at that, and these cars are going to drive poorly. They're going to be on the kind of the edge of control, and being on that edge and driving hard through that edge has been a good lesson. I think I learned the first third of the year, and trying to apply that to these racetracks to go to a second time is going to be super important to show some signs and get up front.
This is the final lap.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. You might think this sounds too good to be true, but we think it sounds like Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. It feels amazing and is so gentle you can wear them all day just like your other favorite Skechers sneakers. And not only will you be getting the massage, you'll also be getting Skechers' other famous comfort features, like a special luxury insole that offers extra support for 24/7 comfort. Plus, they come in a variety of fashionable styles, including lace-up and slip-ons, and they're machine washable for easy care. Get a bonus massage in every step with Skechers' new Massage Fit. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Cobra, featuring the new LTDX drivers, engineered for the longest total distance with extreme forgiveness. Internal weights create the power core, and hot face technology delivers faster ball speed at every contact point. 4 drivers to fit every golfer's needs. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shop and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
The show that makes the average person say, hey, I can do that. The afternoon stretch.
First hour coming to a close here on Nashville Sports Radio for the afternoon stretch, but we have a quarter of an hour coming up. So Braves baseball, Marlins, that's going to happen at 5:40 first pitch. 5:25 is when they're going to take over on the airwaves. Until then, though, it's Free for All Friday. You got something you want to say? Got anything you want to ask? Jump in. Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Bruno's dying to hear your questions. He's just foaming at the mouth. He wants to talk to you. Jeff in the Borough, don't call that, though. That one, you should have hung out longer. I don't know. Anybody else, though, feel free to jump in. I feel like I could say that because I just know Jeff is not listening. That's the biggest thing of this.
Yeah, he doesn't listen. He calls. That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. First hour's done. Second hour coming up. Don't go anywhere.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Portions of the FBI search warrant carried out at former President Trump's Florida home now made public that after Mr. Trump's attorneys did not object to it. ABC News learned the filing indicates the Justice Department was investigating potential violations of at least 3 criminal statutes, including the Espionage Act. ABC News Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas says a source told him investigators attempted to recover the documents and eventually felt they had no choice but to get a search warrant.
They believe that there were documents on the Mar-a-Lago property that were classified, top secret, and of national security implications. And there came a point when information came in that this information was still there under questionable security, and the decision was made, we need to go get this material.
Former President Trump calling the court-authorized search a witch hunt. This is ABC News.
5X480, Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
From the big game to the big dance, Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is your game day and watch party headquarters. Don't worry about entertaining guests and trying to feed everyone. Sit back, relax, cheer on your team, and let the Bar Line staff take care of you. Grab a Bar Line signature cocktail and enjoy some wicked deviled eggs. Or a Bar Line's double stack and finish it off with some Jack and Coke chocolate cake. Bust your belly and your bracket at Bar Line, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
5X480, Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The World Champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their World Championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzy, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game, you betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here.
The Braves, live here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm, stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we?
Join the afternoon stretch now on the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams coming to you live from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. You want to get involved? We want to hear from you. It's easy how you do it. Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Jump in. We're here till 5:25. Then the Braves, the Atlanta Braves, take over as they will be traveling to Miami, taking on the Marlins. Bruno Reagan, in the first hour, Bruno, we talked a lot of Titans. Now we can talk a little UFC. Did you see the recent headline with the UFC?
Is it about the fighter pay?
Yep.
Is that what we're talking about? Yep. Tale as old as time. Tale as old as time. Listen, the UFC is, now we know, they make $1 billion in profit a year, which is absurd. That's after costs, everything, right? But people seem to... There is no real competition either for what the UFC does, unless you're like a Kayla Harrison type. You know, you're not going to get paid better anywhere else either. The UFC still pays the best of any. So it's interesting that they get the most flack. And I get people want to talk the splits and stuff like that, you know, whereas the NFL, the NBA, you get 50-50 collective bargaining agreements. It makes the owners and the players, in a sense, partners, the association. But the fighters have to come together, you know. Expecting a guy like Dana White to be benevolent is a fool's errand. So if that is your play, if that is your argument, I can't take you seriously, which is most people's argument. I put the responsibility on the fighters, and it will take someone to sacrifice. It will take someone to lead. It will take someone that isn't probably not going to get the fruits of the labor, but that's what it's going to take for them to get what they want.
So what all this is coming around is Dana White did a interview with GQ, and he had a quote. And if I'm a fighter that's not named, you know, Conor McGregor, Usman, you know, not named somebody that has a belt around them also right now. If I'm not one of those, which is 98% of all fighters on the roster right now, I don't really like what he said. His quote is, "These guys get paid what they're supposed to get paid." That's the rhetoric that Dana White not only is trying to spew. I mean, that's quite literally what he's saying. And you and I we disagree on this. You want fighters to get paid more. Like, you would like to see fighters get paid more. You're just looking at it from a business side, where if you're the UFC and you know they can't go anywhere, they can't do anything, they're going to stay under the proverbial boot for as long as they can, till they can get out from around the boot and start making some money, whether it be pay-per-view points or whatever it is, sponsorships, or the UFC just handing out millions of dollars under the table, or at least unannounced money that we've heard talked about with DC and different people like that. If I'm one of those fighters, I hate that. I hate hearing that, because it's all these fighters, all of them, even the big names, everybody started from somewhere. And there's some guys who are stuck low in the rankings, whether or not because maybe they lost the wrong fight, but they still win. They're still a good fighter, and they're working second jobs. They're working third jobs to just do this sport. If I'm Dana White, and I'm not, and I have a much different thought on this than I imagine Dana White does, as you see his thoughts here, I would almost look at it from a position of, this makes the UFC look bad. I don't want my guys who are rostered fighters to be working at Texas Roadhouse, to be working at some mechanic shop. That would be a reflection on me as a business, saying that we can't afford these fighters on the optics of the whole situation.
You want me to be really honest with you, and it's going to sound like this is a true Bruno Reagan hot take.
I love it.
The bottom 30 to 40% of the UFC roster deserves exactly what they're getting paid. The bottom 30 to 40% of the UFC roster, which is a massive roster, by the way, compared to what it used to be, are not all that talented.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason they're roster, by the way, compared to what UFC is. At that point for them, it's an opportunity. It's a chance for them to learn, grow, and maybe develop into the athlete or the fighter that can make money. But it's a sense of entitlement to be at as low of an athletic level as some of these guys are and expect 600K, 700K. The thing about the bottom half of the NFL is those players are some of the best athletes in the world. The bottom half of the NBA are the best players in the world. The NBA, that's why they get paid the money. The bottom half of the UFC are frankly wouldn't make it in any other sport. Brendan Schaub is considered to be he was a top 6 or 7 UFC heavyweight when he was in the UFC at his heyday, and he gets clowned on a lot for some of his fights. Travis, Roy, he had a lot of bad fights. He was an NFL practice squad guy for, I think, a year or two, and was one of the top 5 heavyweights in the world for this sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the same. And if the fighters want to gain their leverage, they have to do it themselves. But to just say, I deserve X, I deserve to not have to work. That's why I respect fighters so much. I mean, they do go through the mud. They do get it from the bottom. They do work second jobs. The level of sacrifice is second to none. But to just be some nobody and come onto the scene and say, I'm owed this, does not seem right to me. And it's strange that I don't know why I'm unsympathetic to it, but I do see the UFC's point of view.
I get what you're saying, but let's go to what you were saying. You're saying the 30 or 40% bottom of the roster. Let's just say 40 for the high end, right? We're still talking about, in my thought, 59% of that roster is still drastically underpaid. And let's not even talk about pay, too. Outside of that, I don't even think pay is the biggest thing. I think it's more or less just the health coverage, like benefits that fighters don't get, which I think is insane. For most people that don't know, these fighters, they don't get medical or anything until the night of the fight. And then they get that night. They get a doctor's appointment that night. There's many clips where, you see Dana White saying, like, make sure this guy goes to the hospital. There's no reason he needs to go. Don't let him not go to the hospital, because he knows that's the only time they're covered. And some of these guys, that's probably the only insurance they have.
Yeah.
It's just that one night after they take
criminal.
a crazy beating.
Yeah, and I will say that is something that for you draw the best point. If you want to let's start small. Everyone's trying to hit a grand slam right now with this fighter pay stuff. Okay, let's start making smart goals. That's something that's carried me through my life, and I think most successful people's life. Let's start where we can actually change. They deserve extreme criticism for that. That is criminal. It is the most violent, most brutal sport on the planet today. And to not provide health coverage, knowing that you profit $1 billion, is, that's French Revolution level stuff right there. So I agree with you 100% on that point. Once we get that discussed, then we can move on to the pay stuff. But let's start somewhere. That's merited the criticism.
Well, because it doesn't make sense to not give health care in some form or fashion, because there has been the rhetoric of him saying, well, they get paid what they should get paid, because, like you're saying, they're not very good fighters. They're not proven. They're not this, that, and the others. Well, what are they supposed to do? They don't get the health coverage to cover them for multiple days or months after a fight. If they went all out on a fight and it's a bloodbath, a war that everybody loves, but then they can't even afford the health coverage after it, how are you keep creating a proving ground for these guys if they don't have a thing to fall back on if their health goes astray? That's my whole thought.
I think you make a great point. Why don't people ask Dana White this? It's because fighter pay, for whatever reason, gets the people riled up. So people ask Dana White about fighter pay. So he just gives these same answers and it never changes. This is something that everybody can get behind. I agree with you, and I think most people wouldn't. It's absolutely ridiculous that now that we know how successful the product is, how terrible they treat the most basic form of their athlete.
Keeping with fighting, did you see Tyson Fury announce his retirement again?
Dude, I hate Tyson Fury. I love watching him fight. I would never want to have a conversation with that guy. be around a media presser with that guy. I mean, he's constantly in character. It is absurd. I can't. I'm not a huge fan of boxing either. So I think he's probably the most talented man on the planet with his size and speed. But dang, dude, I do not care. He'll have like 140 Instagram story posts a day. Like I mean, respect, but cringe.
It's so weird. It's so weird to say. Retired again. Athletes can't keep getting away with like getting to retire 15 times.
He's retired like the 5th time. This is like the 5th or 6th time for him.
He can't get away from it. Last night, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, so not only did the Titans play last night, but we had the Field of Dreams game. Did you see anything from that, Bruno?
I saw them walk out of the cornfield, which was cringe.
You didn't like the Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Sr. having a catch?
No.
They're really forcing that. So you've never even seen Field of Dreams. That's one thing. So
yes.
I don't even know why I asked you. Ray, did you see anything from it?
Yeah. Of course, I'm a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan. So.
Who isn't? I mean, if you watch baseball at any point in the early 2000s, late 90s.
He's what got me into baseball.
Yes.
Really into baseball.
They really need another Ken Griffey Jr. type. I mean, they have Ohtani, but not trying to sound terrible. I just think they could use from someone like Ken Griffey Jr. who brought this swagger about him to the game. And then, oh, by the way, he had one of the best swings baseball's ever seen.
So pretty.
Fundamentally sound all the way through. But I will say I'm kind of on the board with Bruno on that. It was a little cringy.
It was
a little cringy the way they're forcing the movie out of it, which I get. It's the whole point of the movie. And I love the idea of the Field of Dreams game. I love the idea of it. I don't like how they're just like when Kevin Costner first came out and then the whole team, is this Iowa? No, it's heaven. All this kind of stuff. I love that. I love that with Kevin Costner, but Ken Griffey Jr. wasn't in the game. He wasn't in the movie. Yeah. And to them to try to do the whole his dad showed up, and that was the whole spoiler alert for a movie that came out in the 80s, I think. That came out, and the whole reason was to build that so he could have a catch with his dad or something like that. To do that with Ken Griffey and Senior and Junior, it's like, I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. And then also, they have like a mess up in the broadcast, which once again, love it. There's one thing that I love that fills my heart is watching the professional broadcast just have a meltdown, and I just know there's just 4 people that are sitting there freaking out trying to figure it out. Right when Ken Griffey Jr. goes, "Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?" You just hear this giant squeal of audio feedback come back, and it's just high pitched. You can even see Ken Griffey Jr. like, "Oh, that hurt." Like he even heard it. Like, oh man! But hands down, the creepiest thing. I want you to play a little bit of it, Ray. Was the Harry Carey hologram? Of course, the Cubbies were playing, and Harry Carey, obviously synonymous with that. But do you remember, Bruno, the Tupac hologram that they had?
Yes, I do.
So they did that, but with Harry Carey. And I sent you the video because I know you hadn't seen it yet either, Bruno. So I want you to watch it. Just turn your volume down. But I want you to watch along a little bit here with this video on your Twitter DMs. And it's tough. It's tough. Go ahead and play a little bit of it, Ray.
All right. Let me hear you. Brother-in-law. On 1, on 2. Three. Take me out to the morning. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back or it's room for it's late, oh, where it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out of the road. Oh, get ready. Boy, you never sang better in your life.
There's Harry Carey. Look, I like the idea of it, okay? I get what they're doing with the idea of it, and I like it for that reason. I will say that. I did not like the way that it came through. Like he looks absolutely terrifying, right?
That was awful. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, I don't know if it's scary more than unsettling.
Yeah, it's really unsettling. I saw somebody tweet, this is a case where science should have asked, should we, instead of could we?
I love that quote. I would have saved that quote mentally. That's a good one.
There's another one here. You sent me this one. It says, breaking. After seeing this, Iowa has announced it will discontinue the Field of Dreams series and close the baseball field permanently.
You failed to mention the other one, the one of O.J. Simpson. Take care. And he drives off in the golf cart. Take care.
Hello, Twitter world. Hey, by the way, just because you mentioned OJ, did you see him come out and have a take about Deshaun Watson?
No, please enlighten me what he had to say, please.
He was like, man, Deshaun Watson, you got to figure it out, man. Stop doing the terrible stuff. You can't be out here doing all the bad stuff.
I mean, he's not wrong. Dude, I'm losing it on air right now.
Can you imagine being Deshaun Watson and you see O.J. Simpson saying that you're the bad guy?
There's no way, dude. There's no way. Yeah, if you're getting railed on by OJ, I'm crying right now. If you're getting railed on by OJ Simpson, dude, just go move to. You could pay like in the underground market, like you could buy a new identity, social security number in Portugal or something. Go away, it's start new.
Oh man, that was so funny when I saw that. I saw OJ Simpson critiquing Deshaun Watson.
You're just, I mean, you made my day, but you also gave me a headache. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, that's so good. Hey, want to give you a Klein Preston Law update on your Atlanta Braves. Of course, played all through this station, and Klein Preston Law always going to be a sponsor of it through this season with Atlanta Braves played here on Nashville Sports Radio. Once again, today we have the Braves taking on the Marlins. They are right now they're 7 games back. They're on a 2-game win streak coming out of the Red Sox series, but they're 7 games back from the Mets, still sitting second in the NL East, sitting at 66 and 46 right now. They have Marlins this weekend, and then looking forward at their schedule, they have Marlins series starting this week. They're going to play Marlins today through Sunday. Then they're going back to the Mets, playing them next weekend, or next week, that is Monday through Thursday. That's going to be a critical time for them. Is once again trying to get some of these games. I mean, you're gonna have to almost sweep those 2 series just to get into back into playing against the Braves, playing against the Mets to take that NL East. But definitely gonna have to make some ground coverage on that one, because look, I know we're August 12th right now. Still a lot of baseball left, but October 5th will be here very soon, and that is the final game of the Braves season. So we're not far away. Some of these games are really going to start counting, and I know everybody's the game in July counts the same as it does in September. I understand that, but you got to start picking it up if you want to make sure you can win that NL East from the Mets.
My birthday, October 5th.
Is your birthday October 5th?
Is it? Yep.
Really?
Happy birthday, Raven.
I can't swim. So what else is going on this weekend, Bruno? What are you doing this weekend?
I'm watching the Lions right now, dude. Dan Campbell doesn't know what an offseason is. Jared Goff's 3 of 4. DeAndre Swift has 4 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. They're up 7-0 on your Marcus Mariota. I mean, this guy is going all out for
right now.
Yeah,
right now, baby. I am all in on this Lions no mercy, beat down everyone in the preseason kind of game.
But we want to watch the games. We can't watch unless we're either in the local market or if you have Network Plus. That's so great.
Or if you have the internet.
Google.
Because you
What's
can
that?
Steal it.
What's
or
the
if
internet?
you have TikTok, just scroll through TikTok and you'll find someone just shooting it live. I mean, these things are all so the fact that blackouts still exist, right, in sports, that is crazy. So Iowa, it's funny that with the Field of Dreams game that's been happening, Iowa, who has no major league team, they have, I believe, 3 minor league programs, farm clubs, something like that. And they have 8 teams that are blacked out in Iowa in the MLB. How crazy is that?
Well, they've been saved from having to suffer MLB baseball.
One of them's the Angels.
Oh, well.
They don't know who Ohtani is there. I don't know if it's actually one of the Angels, but I know there's a lot of them there.
Remember Periscope?
That's Twitter Live now, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just basically they bought Periscope and killed it as a competitor and just made Twitter do the same thing.
I had no idea the Lions and Falcons are playing like right now. Yeah, 7-0. Lions have the lead over the Falcons. Goff, look at Swift. Hey, DeAndre Swift. That's what I told. What was it, Bob? Put him on my top 5 running backs for fantasy.
Believe in the Lions, baby. The over.
Marcus Mariota. He's his QB rating right now 118. That guy
he just threw a 24-yard pass for his first completion
to Drake London.
Like a second ago.
Oh, expect that all year long, baby.
All year
MMA,
long, baby.
Even though he's not MMA'd anymore. Yeah. All right, we're done for the day, everybody. We appreciate calling and commenting, watching it, however you did. Have a safe weekend. We will be back Monday. Remember, if nobody's told you, I love you and you matter. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next time here on Nashville Sports Radio.